Hi guys, welcome back to Tara Makes It Up. Today I have a gorgeous model, Connie, who I was very lucky enough to work with recently on a really beautiful editorial shoot. And it was a really fun look. It was generally a beauty story anyway, so lots of colour, lots of fun. And I just thought I'd recreate one of the looks I did from that shoot. So that's the look I'm going to do today. You could wear this for a party or an evening, and you can kind of tone the look down a little bit as well, but I just thought it'd be fun to show you a look that I've done recently. So first thing I've used on Gorgeous Connie is the L'Oreal. This is the True Match, the new foundation. It's the liquid one. And it's had a bit of a reformulation, but I really like this formula. It glides on beautifully and it just evens out the skin tone really nicely. I'm going to come to concealer after I've done the eyes in case there's any fall down. But the first product I want to use on the eyes is one of the Benefit, their Creaseless Cream eyeshadows. And this is in the colour Always a Bridesmaid, which is a really pretty kind of lilac colour. So I'm just going to start swirling that all over the lids. Can you close for me, Connie? And Connie's got gorgeous green eyes, so this really makes the green pop in her eyes. But you can really build the pigment of this actually. And I'm concentrating the colour on the centre of the eye and then just blending outwards. So that's a really gorgeous wash of colour. Again, just blend it up towards the eyebrow. And now before I go any further on the eyes, I'm just going to add a bit of shape to Connie's brows. I want to keep the nice fluffiness though and keep them nice and natural. So I'm going to take a bit of the Tanya Burr Perfect Brows Kit, a bit of the Pebble shade, just to give a little bit of definition. And I'm just going to take a Zoeva brow line brush. So if you look straight ahead of me, honey. So I'm just looking for there's any little gaps. I'm just going to add a couple more strokes, but I just want to keep it quite soft and natural. And I'm just feathering through really lightly. You can always knock a little bit of the excess off on the brush first. But just adding a bit more to Connie's arch. So I'm going to take the Bobbi Brown Smokey Eye Kajal, which is just a black, so any black pencil will do. If you look up for me, Connie, so a little tiggly bit now. I'm going to go in the waterline. Don't worry if the eyes water. And I'm going to pop this, if you look down for me as well, Connie, I'm going to do this in the top waterline as well. Just so we get a nice black base of colour. Have a good little blink. So I'm going to take the Tom Ford Eye Defining Pen now. Now we've gone round with the black on the inside and outside waterlines. And it's time for the big dramatic eye. So what we did on the shoot, if you look that way a bit for me, Connie. So I started basically on Connie just going around, all close for me, around the top and the bottom lashes. But I definitely went a lot thicker towards the end. So I'm going to start thin and then build up. And I'm just tracing Connie's natural lash line first and making sure there's nothing at the roots, so all the skin's properly covered. And what's good about this liner is it's properly intense black, so it's really good for this kind of look. And open for me, Connie. That's it. And then if you look back at the camera for me, so you can see how far I've gone at this point, guys. And then I'm going to turn Connie a little bit back to me and then looking straight at me, Connie. So now I'm going to go as if I was going from underneath, and I'm going to do my line to join, so it's like a big cat liner. Again, you can still be quite messy at this point. And I'm just sort of like dotting really, so even with that being messy, you can kind of see where the line is going to go. So you just start mapping it out for yourself. Now that I've started to join my flick, I can kind of get an idea of where it's going to meet. And then I'm going to start with the same pen going along the bottom of the lash line. Because like I said, guys, this look was full on. So I'm taking the pen all the way along the bottom lash line, and it does thicken up towards the outer corner, so make sure you can see as you're going that it starts to thicken, and it really makes the lavender colour look really beautiful. So then I'm just going to join up the start of the flick, and then I can assess how much thicker I want to go once I've got kind of a basic shape. So even from doing that on Connie, I can now get an idea of how much thicker I want to go. So I want to keep the exact same shape. So it just means I can thicken up a little bit, so it's a little bit more intense. I've just tweaked the shape now to make it exactly how I want it, and all I did was use a Muji cotton bud in some Bioderma or a micellar water, and you can literally use this just to kind of cut off the flick to the exact shape you want it. Now you could use false lashes if you wanted, guys, but I think to keep the look a bit more modern, just kind of chunky mascara is really nice, or layered volume mascara. And I think on the actual shoot day on Connie as well, I did use just lots of mascara. And the mascara I'm going to use is the Bobbi Brown, the Smoky Eye Mascara, which I really like for the top and bottom. If you look up for me, Connie. So I'm going to give a good amount to both. And you could go over the black with some eyeshadow if you want to soften it. And like I said, guys, you can make this a more wearable look by not putting on the bottom lashes with the black if you wanted it a little bit more wearable. but this is just how we did it for the shoot. And just wiggling it in, making sure, just kind of pressing it into the roots. And then for concealer, guys, I'm actually going to try a new concealer that I've been working with at the minute, which is Boing. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I'm going to guess that's how you pronounce it, by Benefit. So it's a nice creamy formula, and it's nice if your skin's slightly drier. So I'm just using shade 01. So if you look up for me, Connie. So I'm going to take this under the eyes. I'm going to use my trusty Real Techniques brush. You know I love this, guys. And I'm just going to clean underneath and make sure it's all nice and flawless under the eye makeup. But I think it's best to do the eyes first in case you have any corrections you have to do, or you need to kind of get your eyeliner a bit more perfect, and then you can go in with your concealer afterwards. So I'm also using this, and if there's any redness coming through, you can just use a little bit of this to cover just where needed. So I'm going to take the Makeup Forever High Definition Pressed Powder, which I really, really like actually, especially just for a little bit of powder down the T-zone and just to set the concealer. So I'm just using a little bit of this. And then for blush, I'm going to use one of the Giorgio Armani blushes, and this is in the shade Pop, which is just a really nice soft pink, and I think you don't want anything too distracting from the eyes, but it's still got quite a nice little sort of dolly finish to it, which I quite like, but very subtle. So I'm putting that quite high up on the cheekbones. Can you turn the other way for me, Joe? Just to add a little bit of colour back, but just keep it high up on the temples and the cheekbones, and I think that gives it quite a cool look. And then I'm just taking one of the Chubby sticks. This is in Heaping Hazelnut by Clinique. And again, this is something, guys, you've probably seen on my channel lots and lots, which I love. It's just such a good colour. I'm kind of using it like a lip pencil as well. So just using the Kevyn Aucoin highlight. This is the Candlelight highlighter, and it's a powder one, and it's just really nice because it's soft on top of the cheekbones. So I'm just using this on the high points, just give a little bit of extra shimmer, and just a tiny bit down the nose as well. So that's the finished look, guys. I really hope you enjoyed watching that as much as I enjoyed creating it. It was lovely to do Connie's face again. As I said, this was a look we did from an editorial shoot, which I'll either link below or put somewhere on the screen. So make sure you check that out. And make sure you check out my blog as well, because the new mailing list I have going out also has exclusive competitions and giveaways on. So make sure you sign up for that on my blog, which obviously I'll link below. Please subscribe and like, and I'll see you soon for more videos. Thanks very much, guys. Bye.
Boing.